Do you see what I see?
I see a beautiful hamburger.
I bet it's a clue.
Yeah, I bet.
We'd better memorize it.
I don't think we'll have to memorize it. The hamburger's winning.
Boy, my mouth's watering. Let's go.
Come on, boys and gals. Let's have a barbecue.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday!
Wacky fun.
Cookout.
Hello.
All right.
All
You ever-
right.
You ever notice when white people try to dance, it looks like they're trying to get an itch, but they can't quite reach it?
It looks like they're having a seizure.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love being white. Am I allowed to say that?
I don't know if you're allowed to say that anymore.
Yeah.
It's
Which is
becoming
funny.
harder as to what you can and can't say. So
Yeah.
We can't dance. We
can't
can't
jump.
open milk cartons, apparently. You ever see those commercials? Like, you know, it's like when someone comes up with a solution for a problem that doesn't exist for anyone but white people. But yet, I've never met a white person that can't do that. You know, it's like, do you have trouble peeling an orange? No, I don't. I don't have a problem with that. But you know, they show like all the videos of, you know, the actors that are. My favorite is the opening the cartons or something like that.
Yeah, it's always black and white. When they can't do it, it looks awful.
Yeah, and then when they use
drop
this
it, it spills
magic
everywhere.
product, it looks fine. We should do that. We should look up white people can't do things videos.
That would be great.
And have a
We gotta
blast.
make some clips of those. Welcome, everybody. Like and subscribe. Smash that bell. Ring that like button. I just like saying it that way. It's fun to get things backwards sometimes. All right. Where were
well, we're here to have fun. So
we? We are. Last time we were talking about aliens.
well, we were talking about aliens. Yeah.
Since then, you've launched Discord.
Yep,
Very exciting.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Discord is live.
Still working on. Yes. Since then, I'm working on finalizing some of the print details, as I mentioned earlier, and it'll be fun. Get that sorted out tomorrow. And just thank you for all the support that I've gotten.
Yeah.
Let's get you funded. Here you go.
Oh,
This is what we're talking about.
what is it?
Yep. See what I'm saying? Oh, there we go. We got some diversity in this one.
This is great.
Oh,
They got to get their
the
EG
socks.
scores up.
Oh, the hose. Now, I do admit the hose thing.
That
is
does
a
happen.
problem, yeah. I've never done that
Yeah.
because I'm not a complete moron. This, I have had trouble. Okay, so the hose is like a real deal. Like, that is a problem. Okay, I can get that one. I can get behind that one. You got to have something for that. But,
You don't have to feel bad. I'm a firefighter, and the guard.
Okay,
hose-
baby gates are hard for me.
baby gates, yeah, I've never had trouble with a baby gate yet. Windows, oh, look at that. It's, you know they make a longer cord, right?
Yep.
Of course, they gotta have this on there.
Like, this lady's never opened her cabinets before. This guy,
When
there's so
when
much
was this
room
from?
behind there to walk around.
This is from 5 years ago, though, too. Like,
Yeah.
I watched Somebody asked me about How I Met Your Mother, and like, there's the scene where in the end, if you haven't watched it yet, and it's been out, you know, but like Barney and Robin get divorced, and it's because it's like he's having like a fit that he can't post his joke of the day or something, and I'm like, oh, like, you know, you've got Hootsuite, and you've got
wait, did you see this? You see this
like
jagwagon? He can't eat popcorn. Look at him. He can't figure out how to navigate. Put the controller down, idiot. He can't figure out how to handle. That's the most
important part.
He can't seem to figure out how to. Yeah. Oh, snacks are hard. Oh no. Like these people. She just goes right through the table.
Reminds me of another How I Met Your Mother. Was I drunk or a kid?
Yeah, I can't remember. Look at that face. Oh, white people. I always like how they're always falling. Like, it starts out normal, and then it just gets so dramatic and, like, over the top. It's like they know what they're doing here. They're giving us memes. Oh. We just killed Grandma for that commercial. Yeah, it did. That escalated real quickly. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Good times.
See, here's another one.
Electric infected sounds. I guess it's its name. Okay.
Yeah, we're using Electric Infected's video here.
Millions of women like yourself suffer from a poor night's rest. Sleeping on your side without proper breast support can be a major culprit.
I pulled up enough hair, dog hair, out of my carpet.
Is sleeping without proper breast support a problem?
I guess if you've got big ones, maybe.
I mean, my man boob's get in the way, so maybe, maybe it's a problem.
To make another dog.
It's the problem in the marriage bed that no one likes to talk about. Maybe that's why they call it silent but deadly.
Oh my gosh.
No, there's something else they call silent but deadly.
Because of the round shape, they roll all over the place.
Again, not a problem I've ever had.
What a waste!
You know, these
This guy's really angry about it.
$4 a piece.
You spend so much money for these small bottles, and every time you buy it, I'm sure you say the same thing that I say. Why do I spend so much money for such a small bottle? Am I right?
Yeah.
Well, people went to war over spices in medieval times, so be careful what you're saying there, buddy.
Right, yeah. England invaded countries.
Tired of fussing with giant pasta pots, strainers, timers, stirring and testing.
Everyone loves butter, but getting it out of the fridge, out of the wrap, and onto your food is a real hassle.
Never happened in my life.
You love that low-cut top for going out at night, but in the office, it's just not right. You've tried safety pins, but they leave holes and just look wrong. And with a camisole, you end up tugging and adjusting all day long.
Can't find what you need in that overstuffed, outdated wallet? Stop damaging your credit cards or using money clips that aren't secure. And get rid of those bulky old...
I have never folded a credit card in half. My gosh. How did that happen?
Is your keyboard a germ jungle? Does your cell phone have a science project on it? And why doesn't anyone clean that remote control? You can crack them this way. You can crack them that way. And we've all done this.
No.
No matter how you crack them, you always end up...
I've done that. I've gotten the...
I have kids, so I've done that, but...
I think the eggshells add character.
No, if you need a little extra crunch.
Yeah.
Getting into a car is difficult for many because once you sit, you have to turn and contort your entire body into
I didn't realize getting into a car was so difficult for men.
It's for old people. It's hard, probably.
More stress to your back and body, potentially causing chronic pain. Don't you wish there was something that could do away
All right, I'm gonna say an unpopular opinion. You get a certain age, you should just have someone drive you around, like Miss Daisy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't think that would be ideal, I think. So, I don't know. Poor people already have problems paying for chronic issues, so it's like, this doesn't actually seem like,
How do you fix that?
yeah.
Stubbed your toe in the middle of the night.
The dark is dangerous. Don't trip.
Yeah, we're back to we know the hose is a pain in the neck.
I haven't got one of those ones that like scrunch up. You know, they advertise and it looks like it saves all the space. It doesn't really work that way.
Yeah, no, I've got some of those. Those, yeah, they don't work as intended.
No.
I wind up having to roll them up too, and then they tangle.
Yeah.
Tired of tugging and lugging your hose? It's heavy. It tangles, as everyone knows.
Opening jars can be so
That's everyone.
difficult.
He's not even trying.
Frustrating and painful. And regular jar openers?
Oh.
Why bother? They're difficult to use.
Oh man.
Standard sizes. Isn't there a better way?
Do you struggle and strain to reach high places behind the couch or in small tight spaces?
That one cracks me up
Getting
the
in and out
most.
of the car can be an awful struggle. You have to twist and contort into painful positions that put too much stress on your back, hips, and legs, which can cause chronic pain. And often, it's just too difficult to do it on your own.
This is we had some trouble last week with the, little racer with raisins. We had to rectify those raisins. We had to reduce. But now everybody knows us because we have fun.
They have fun with fruit. I love the studio audiences. Hey, yeah, you do. You have fun with fruit. You
That
have
looks like
fun with
something-
fruit.
That looks like something that would be on Impractical Jokers.
Oh yeah.
They would just totally state something like that. Mess with people.
Yeah. Say we have fun with fruit.
Yeah. Did you get a new cut, Luke?
Yeah, a
beard?
couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Looks pretty good.
Thanks.
I haven't been on social media that much the last couple weeks, so I'm just seeing you for a while. I usually watch Nerd Bacon on Thursdays.
Yeah, Nerd Bacon was pretty good the last few weeks. We're got an interesting topic this week. We're talking about the blacklisting in the comic book industry.
Oh, that should be interesting indeed.
Yeah, we're going to discuss if we've ever, because Randy's been around since the 80s. We're going to try to see if there's ever been any other time in history where we've had this kind of political blacklisting based around a consumer movement. And then we're going to discuss why we think that it is hurting the creative output of the industry as well. So
Yeah, we talked a little about that last week. Not so much the blacklisting part, but more so the how it hurts creativity.
Yeah, so it should be a pretty good week. We've got Dr. Ben coming on.
I don't know who that is.
He just got kicked off of a project.
Okay.
For being Comicsgate.
Ooh.
After he had some very favorable interactions with everybody, then somebody come along and said it. And hopefully we'll get Craig on there because he's been blacklisted up there in Canada in a couple places because of his CG connections and things like that. And then there was an article that was based around this writer's tweet talking about how if you're Comicsgate, don't ever expect to work in the mainstream.
I will say, like, I don't expect to ever be mainstream, if that makes sense. I've been offered to work on like TV and in writing and stuff by Hollywood people, and I had to turn it down. So
there you go. Right?
Yeah. So it's kind of like, I don't think I'll ever be there anyway. So I'm sure they've already got my name on a blacklist somewhere.
Right. Yeah. There's no point in fussing over it and worrying about it. The mainstream's not doing great anyway,
Yeah.
Well, and Yeah, that's the other side of it. Like, I think a lot of customers, like, we don't have blacklists on like a general customer sort of database, I think. But I know there are some companies that, you know, have had a lot of issues lately with with their own, like, being boycotted and stuff like that. And you know,
Well, it turns out ESG is not profitable.
Oh, imagine that.
well, I mean, I don't think it ever was really supposed to be profitable, though.
No, but they didn't think they'd take hits like this, at least in some cases. But now, it's, I think.
Yeah, I mean, obviously DEI is not paid off either.
Right, they're getting laid off in droves right now.
Yeah,
as they should.
As they should.
Well, I'm like, I have children, and I've raised my kids and I've told them before, look, do you really want to live in a world where everybody does 70% of their job? You know, no, you want somebody that's capable and they can handle the responsibility. And, you know, if there's pressure or, you know, some other, like, some kind of twist in the road comes along, they'll be able to handle it, you know?
Yep. You don't want your surgeon to be a diversity hire.
No. No, you don't want your pilot to be one. You, I mean, like,
your generals, your astronauts, nobody.
Your president, yeah.
Yeah.
He's more of a weekend at Bernie's kind of thing.
Hey, the only strong Biden supporter I know of is actually a lady that struggles with dementia. So.
Oh.
She feels represented, I guess. So.
I guess so.
Well, it's important to see ourselves in everything.
Yeah.
Everything, all the time.
Self-inserts everywhere.
Isn't it scary to think in like 5 years we'll be like, don't you remember the days, the good old days, and all we had to worry about was this? So we'll have to, like, cat ear transplants and
Here you go.
body copies of ourselves by then. So.
I don't know. Have you guys seen this? This one's funny. This one's funny.
Oh, you know, I think I have seen this one.
There might be bad language in this. If there is, I'm sorry.
Warning.
The CEO of United Airlines last month, the CEO, he announced of all the hiring for all the new pilots that are coming up this year, all the hiring for the new pilots, the main focus is going to be diversity. What?
What?
Diversity? Not the best pilots you can find? The ones with the most hours of experience? Ones you've done it before? Maybe? Nope, diversity. I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of flying all the time with these white pilots landing safely and on time. Boring.
Rob Schneider's funny. Yep.
Yep.
I made a video kind of touched on that topic a while back. It was about the anti-hero, but you guys ever watch Rescue Me?
Yeah.
Remember that rant he does on the sensitive and the diversity training? Where's this group doing that and talking smack on this group? It's pretty great. Just kind of
see if we can pull it up.
Yeah, it just kind of makes the point of, like, it doesn't matter. You're not going to care what race your firefighter is when they pull you out of a burning building. Just want someone who could get you. I bet I could find it real quick.
I got you.
Oh, you got it? All right, cool. It's a great one.
My guys, Don Kleinman.
That's pretty good.
Nobody wants to be here. Yeah, seeing as how the neighborhood we serve is shorter rig.
And this is what real firefighters are like. Like, this is why I hate modern shows about firefighters, because it's nothing like this. I compared it to 911 Lone Star and how they arrested some lady for being racist.
911 Lone Star is stupid.
It's so dumb. And those guys in, like, any firefighter show you can name that's still running, like, they're not like real firefighters. Real firefighters are obnoxious like these guys, and they would be blacklisted so fast from anything in the media.
Yeah, I know firefighters. Besides you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not They're certainly not Raw Below.
No, they're not politically correct. They don't care about that stuff.
What a dumb show that is.
Yeah.
Here, let's watch this.
See, now this is the usual response. No one identifies him or herself as prejudiced. We all think, okay, we have a hand up. You think you're prejudiced? Yep.
Yep.
Against who?
Well, let's see. Chevy Neons that cost $12,000 to buy but have $8,000 paint jobs and 9 spics inside them smoking weed. That's one thing.
Okay, now listen. The term spick. Okay, spick. Well, see,
I worked with a Puerto Rican guy who loved the scene. He would say that.
Cell phones stuck to their ears while they're doing 65 miles an hour down 6th Avenue. Huh? Right? The crazy chinks on bikes with 10 pounds of Chinese food strapped to the handlebars.
Okay, now see, the word chink is what I like to call a problem word.
If I were a chink, I'd rather be called a chink than a gook.
Okay, now hold on, listen to me, please. Chinese people will not like to be called gook or chink or pan face or zipper head.
See, that's another thing. I mean, Puerto Ricans, we get shafted even when it comes to races. Chink's got what, like 4 ethnic slurs? We get 1, spick, that's it. The Irish, they got Mick, Paddy, Donkey. Italians, they got Guinea, Wop, Dago.
Spaghetti bender?
Spaghetti bender went out of style during Sinatra for his marriage. Greaseball? Yeah, greaseball, there you have it, that's 4.
That's right. You know what? Same thing with the Jews, right? Eve, Tyke, Jew boy, Benny.
Shylock?
That's 5.
Yeah, black people forget about it. Spear chucker, jungle bunny, raisin head, porch monkey, spook.
Shine.
Tar baby. Yeah, it's endless. Totally unfair.
Yeah.
What?
Look at him.
Poor guy's traumatized.
This was 12 years ago.
I know.
Some serious thoughts.
So crazy how far things have gone.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, did you catch the big game last night? No. You assumed I was a sports fan because I'm black. I was at the theater
See, I would have assumed he was a sports fan because he's a man.
That's it. I assumed you were a sports fan because you were a man.
when dealing with others, especially those with different ethnicities and those of
Look at him.
sex. In conclusion, don't be like our friend. You people have the best produce.
What do you mean, you people?
Produce store owners.
That you would like others to show to you. It makes for a better workplace.
I mean,
and a
like,
better
you
world.
could say that with the company, too, or the business.
Yeah.
So,
Now, what
Uh-oh.
did you learn from that? Eddie?
Now we got a hand.
Yes.
Only white people can be racist?
That wasn't the point of the video.
Well, it's pretty obvious. I mean, where were the black guys calling white people crackers? Huh? Where were the Mexicans shitting all over the Puerto Ricans? You know? Where were the Chinese people making fun of the Japs who hate the Koreans, who hate people,
Okay, now,
blah, blah, blah.
hold on.
No, this is bullshit. You know what? The only reason we're here is because somebody in our crew called somebody else a name.
It was twat, by the way. Just so we're clear.
It's just to cover the FDNY's ass. That's all this is good for, you know? Just in case some Puerto Rican woman or some fat Chinese guy files a lawsuit against the FDNY, or God help us, there's another disgruntled female firefighter who thinks she has a case. The FDNY can say, no, they can't be prejudiced. They took this horseshit sensitivity training. Let me tell you something. Next time I run into a burning building and refuse to bring out anybody who's not the same color as me, that's when you can bring my angry, sober, pink Irish ass back down here. Got it? Go outside for a smoke.
well, that guy could run for office these days.
Right?
Yeah.
Welcome, T-Bunny.
Hello, hello. There was no bunny representation, so I thought
That'll get you.
Yeah, we gotta get the bunny representation.
Yeah.
Check the box.
That'll get you. That clip would have gotten that show canceled.
Yes,
Right
absolutely. So true.
Well,
though,
I did notice they didn't actually say the N word. So
No.
Even Tommy Gavin would be afraid to say the N word.
Yeah, like no.
Well,
Stay away from that one.
the thing about that is interesting is that I've watched these demonstrations of like female firefighters doing the training or whatever, and they literally, for safety reasons, have to leave them outside on the perimeter when they go into buildings.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I mean because they
I'll
can't.
default to the actual firefighter on that one, Bunny.
maybe it depends on the place too. Cause
Yeah, everywhere I've worked in 2 states, and both of them have enough standardized training where like you can't even get on the job without being proficient in all the basic skills, which would include ladder throwing and anything you would do on a fire ground.
Okay. I'm talking about the heavy carrying and stuff like that.
They still got to be able to drag my butt.
Yeah, that's part of it. That's part of it. You got to drag a dummy Like
Yeah.
this dummy is like 180 pounds. Most of the women don't weigh 180 pounds, but they still have to drag it, you know, the same amount of time that's required of the men. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, well,
I don't like fire, so it's
you
not
just
that
have to
bad with me.
overlook me. I'm a stupid white person. I can't. I don't have basic motor skills or problem solving.
He's the guy on the infomercials.
Do you try to
we were
eat the
looking at.
popcorn where both hands are full?
Yeah. Rolling up a hose is hard. Now, fitting a comic back into a bag, I could see the problem.
You know, that is a problem.
Yeah, that is actually difficult.
Trying to avoid that tape sticking on the cover.
It came out of this bag. Why can't it go back in the bag? It split. It's like, ah!
I can never get the what are those things? The inflatables, yard inflatables for Christmas, back in the original box. I don't know how that went in the box.
The inflatable beds is my
right.
Impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
You came out of this box. How do you not go back in?
Yeah. How did you manage to get in there to begin with? Sometimes I wonder.
Save me, Ron Popeil.
Somebody make a product for me.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have you guys back. T-Money, I think you only missed a week, and Anoop's here half the time. It's always great when he is.
I'm always
Good to see
gone.
you guys.
I always forget that I agreed to do this show.
It's not like you signed a contract.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second, I got a show on Sundays, don't I? Forgot all about that.
No, that's fine. We had a good conversation last time about, I don't know how what do you think of this one, given your theological training, but we were talking about the ontological argument and possible worlds and aliens. It's awesome.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I believe in aliens, but I don't think that they're extraterrestrial. I think they're subterrestrial, and I don't think that they are a creation like we are. I think that they are an abomination. I do believe they came from the Nephilim. So I believe all that technology exists, and what we perceive or conceive as alien beings are not alien beings at all. They're just a putrid offset of what would be man and celestial being reproducing, and then the product of those strange reproductions as well. So that's my thought on it. But of course, I wrote a book about it.
Yeah.
You can find it at lukestonestudios.com under comics. It's called Hybrids.
Hybrids. Yeah. Actually, when I was doing Cannabis and Conspiracies, we were talking about the Smithsonian and how it was covering up a lot of things. You know, a lot of shady stuff going on in that castle off of the Washington Mall there, which nobody has access to, even though technically we pay for it. Anyway. But, one of the things it covers up is like giants, evidence of giants, which are supposedly offspring of Nephilim. So,
let me bring up this brain nugget that will possibly get us all thinking differently.
I was gonna say, I'm already in Facebook jail.
It was said by Jesus that the end times will be just as it was in the days of Noah, right?
Yeah.
So what of the days of Noah? We think of the sin, obviously, you know, the sodomy and the and let me be clear, when I say sodomy, I'm not just talking about homosexuality. It's sodomy in general that God has a problem with. It's an exit hole, guys. But so we got that. We've got just debauchery, right? So we know that was in the days of Noah. Wiped everything out with a flood, right? But you got to think, there's other things going on during the days of Noah. That was also during the time of when the Book of Enoch was written. which talks about the Nephilim and the giants and the Watchers and all this kind of stuff. And that was when Azazel is, according to lore, was teaching mankind about machines of war and combat and strategy, as well as other bits of technology and things like that. That's when, if you look pre-flood era stuff, that's when you're looking at
antediluvian.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a lot of that stuff. So if it's going to be such as it was in the days of Noah, what does that mean? I was speculating about that the other day. What does that mean? Does that mean when the news says that, oh, hey, there are alien craft, that we're eventually going to be looking at an alien creature that's going to question our own belief of creation and Christianity? I don't know. I don't know. I was just thinking about that and musing over it and wondering how that might affect my writing and some storytelling.
Yeah.
That's an interesting idea.
It was it was a strange thought, I thought. Fun thought.
I was having a conversation with a friend like today, playing D&D, because that's the kind of nerd I am. I do live streaming about comics and then play D&D in the same day.
Devil.
We we were talking about if we found aliens that were intelligent like humans or even more intelligent than humans, would they be would they have the Imago Dei? Would they be in the image of God? And if not, how would we be justified in treating them?
All right, so
would we have dominion over them like animals? Should we treat them like animals, or should we treat them like other sentient beings, sort of mutual respect? Morally, how would that work?
I have an answer for this.
All right, go.
Because unfortunately, over the last 3 months, I've done a lot of research.
Unfortunately?
On this, because the next arc of hybrids is going into some strange places.
Like it.
All right, so we have dominion of everything over the earth. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it was a creature created for earth, then we have dominion over that. So if it was a creature that wasn't created for earth, would we have dominion over that? I don't know so much about that.
Yeah, there's the rub.
Right?
I agree with you. I came to the same conclusion. Actually, my friend did too, so there's really no argument there. So I kind of mentioned it would be like animals, like because he asked if we have the right to abuse them, is the way he phrased the question, and I said no. I think that would be like tantamount to animal abuse.
I mean, because God doesn't abuse us, right?
Right.
All right. So before I forget, let me answer the other half of that question. I don't believe that God created other creatures in his image or in their image. I do believe that he may have created other creatures. In fact, when it talks about the pit being opened up, it talks about all manner of creatures being in there, right? Well, if God is the author of all creation, then where did they come from? He must have made them, right? And when he was like, yeah, nope, putting that back in the pit.
Yeah.
I'm working on another story. It's a space western about this triune cowboy that's cleaning up the Wild West.
He's triune?
He's triune, yeah. So it's like, it's they, them. So he has pronouns.
Very progressive.
Yeah, but it's actually like 3 of them that are connected by an energy. And when they speak, they all speak in unison with each other. And
so it's like triple play in space.
Basically, yeah, it's like triple play in space. And but he's fighting kaijus and putting them in like the OK Corral kind of thing.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, so it's like space western. But basically it's my imagination of what it was like outside of the cosmos pre-creation or pre our creation.
If you do a trailer for that, you're gonna have to use Knights of Sidonia by Muse.
Right.
That's pretty cool. That's a cool concept.
Yeah, I think we all have concepts like that.
I don't have one like that. Mine's in space and it has a cowboy, but that's about it. I wouldn't call it a space western. It has a cowboy in it.
Yeah, well, I think we all have like Western concepts right now. It seems to be coming back in vogue.
They come in. They come and fade with the culture a lot, because like a Western as like basic idea is like the idea of like entering into this wild, untamed world, and then you gradually get used to that world and you're able to tame it.
Well, society breaks down, or as people start like clinging on to the question of good and evil. Westerns seem to like creep back into culture, because it's such a simplistic morality tale.
Yeah, it's sort of like Knights and Dragons too. It's like taming something that's wild.
Right.
Yeah, but mine's definitely not a Western. Mine's a dystopian.
Yeah. I was gonna do a Western, but I think I'm gonna change up the vibe or the genre. But it's an anthropomorphic story. It's about a cat that cleans out a colony of rats that have been messing up this town. So I was originally going to do a Western, but then again, I think it might work well as a horror too. Where he goes in, and there's so many different ways I could take it. But it's about a cat that kills these rats.
Puss in Boots, the Rat Hunter. There you go.
I thought it would be fun to write the story that I've got in my head. It'd be fun to do anthropomorphic. I make the furries think that it's something, and then they get it's like this wholesome story.
Sneaky.
Sneaky.
That's I had a pastor called that kind of thing Jehovah Sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
I've heard of Jehovah Rapha. But have you heard of Jehovah Sneaky?
Sneaky.
Don't think that's one of the names. I'll have to look. Yeah.
I can tell you with great certainty it is not.
Okay.
Yeah. It is not. We made that up.
There you go.
Out of first imaginations. We have a lot of people that preach out of second opinions.
Yep.
Second opinions. That's pretty funny.
And first speculations.
First speculations.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
First and second speculations.
Well, the Book of Speculations is crazy.
So more on the Book of Speculations. Do you think it's possible if we bred with like a similar species, like that was genetically similar to humans, would they be potentially in the image of God?
What?
Or do you think if like, well, I guess the Bible doesn't specify. So like, my opinion, kind of the way going back to the weird stuff. So since my opinion is basically the Bible doesn't really specify if God created creatures, whether or not they be in the image of God. I don't think we should assume they are, but in my fiction they're not. But I did write in like a species that's genetically similar to humans that we bred with, and then made kind of like a spotlight species that's half human, and they're in the image of God, and then they're able to receive grace and salvation. I have a character that's a Christian and from one of these species.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Nephilim were technically a hybrid of human and other. So
other. See, that's the fun thing. So we know that angels were bumping uglies with humans, but I think they were bumping uglies with animals too.
Yeah, they were.
That's how we get, minotaurs, centaurs, mermaids.
Well, there's a whole lot of creatures that seem to cross-pollinate across different cultures and mythologies, like dragons and mermaids and things like that.
I have
They
another
seem to be in
story.
multiple cultures all except at once. So
I have another story about this character named Bob the Centaur.
All right, there you go. Go Bob.
I have a guy in my comic book who's like a minotaur, but that was voluntary as a human, and he just like got genetic alterations because I wrote that in as kind of like an identity thing, like people transing themselves. People won't go. Some people choose to go trans species, and this guy made himself basically like a minotaur.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how.
I can see it.
What's that?
Oh, I can see it. So.
Oh, okay. Well, Larry Correia, who happens to be a favorite author of mine, did a series called Monster Hunter, where a lot of these mythologies were living alongside humanity, you know, and it's just really cool how he blended humanity and all these mythologies together, you know, like the elves are trailer trash, and the most noble people in this most noble society are the orcs.
Is that wasn't that like a Will Smith movie like that?
It's kind of like, yeah, it's great.
Oh, yeah, that Bright was the name of it.
Bright, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, Monster Hunter is different, but it's really cool how he, you know, kind of like answered a lot of these questions, you know, and like the guy's boss is a werewolf named Earl Harbinger, and it's like an old Southern family that goes back, you know, and it's like really clever. Their headquarters is in Alabama, so yeah, it's just a really cool series. I highly recommend it to anybody.
Nice.
But I love reimaginings like that when somebody takes, like, you know, like in my comic, all those mythological beings were actually altered humanity, and so some are still walking around, you know, and yeah, so I like just kind of like, you know, taking these mythology and like bringing it into present day, you know.
Yeah. Mythological creatures are crazy. I was out on the ocean one time and we saw a bunch of octopi, but you could only see their tentacles just poking out above the surface of the water, and there was a lot of them together for some reason. And I swear from the surface it looked like a kraken.
Might have been a kraken.
Yeah, maybe it was a kraken, but I could totally see where something like that would come from. Like how people be convinced.
Release the kraken.
I was talking earlier about my shortest hardback book is, I guess it's 22 pages here, but it's the book I have from my Realms Beyond the Rainbow series. I promise I'm still working on it. It's just been really slow going. I have like 6 or 7 series that I juggle, but it's about how like basically there were mythological creatures at the beginning of time, and when like the flood was happening, like there's a whole bunch of other story to it, but basically the unicorn makes a portal to like a parallel world and takes all the loyal creatures to Abel, like with Abel's family over to it.
Yeah.
It really looks nice. My artist did a really good job with that one. So.
That reminds me a little of Narnia.
It's probably got a bit of a Narnian twist because I grew up with C.S. Lewis, I think. So.
Well, enjoy those stories while you can. Greta Gerwig is about to write the series. So
don't remind me.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I thought I was thinking of Greta Thunberg when you said that. I'm like, why would she be doing anything with this?
She gets fake arrested in it.
So
I don't even know she knows how to spell. So
I eat a lot of snacks.
Wow. Oh, well, like Narnia in general has the big feminist question of Susan, why she's not in the last panel or whatever.
Yeah.
I have a feeling she'll add some kind of weird commentary about it. So.
Of course.
How dare you?
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you write a non-Christian Aslan. I mean, it's impossible.
No, you can't.
No.
I mean, it's a Christian
you write a
allegory.
satanic one. That's how you
So
do it.
let me tell you guys about Bob. You can tell me if I've got something here or not.
Okay.
Okay.
Since this is the creative cookout, I'm gonna throw a little shrimp on the Barbie.
Do it.
So, Bob is in 1990s New York. I want you to think friends with a centaur. Okay. He is attempting to get a job in a corporate office. And so he's dressed, with a suit and shirt and jacket, tie. But he doesn't have pants. Because he's a freaking centaur. Right?
Yeah.
So he goes in, he tries to get a job. We're going to have some funny things about that. He goes to the coffee shop. He's trying to get a coffee. Makes some joke about don't get, light on the sugar. Sugar's not good for my teeth. And then he winds up getting the job though, because the boss he is impressed with his equine speed.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, he's a horse. He's really fast at running errands. So he gets a job in data entry. So he does data entry, and then he has to go find. He's trying to find roommates, and so there's this whole weird dynamic with him and the roommates, and he eventually finds a couple people to share an apartment with. Yeah, and it's they're intended to be like 1 to 2 page little comic book shorts that go in the back of a book or something. Like a Sunday morning newspaper kind of thing, but more like Rick and Morty kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking.
Of course, you're gonna have to have one of them's gonna be a satyr. So.
Oh, what?
Pretty much a prerequisite.
What's a satyr?
Satyr.
Half goat. I'm sorry,
Oh.
satyr.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Not satyr.
No, like
satyr.
he's the only mythological creature here.
Oh, okay.
Like he accidentally poops on the subway. Cause like he's a horse. That's what horses do, right?
You could do that in a lot of cities now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do that, like especially in like the Democratic grand cities.
Yeah, San Francisco.
Oh, you mean all the big cities? Yeah.
Like all the
Yeah,
big cities.
it's all of them now.
Yeah, and then there's going to be a scenario that we're going to work on where I'm going to call it the black bar story, because he's got no pants, you can see his wiener. So we're gonna laugh about that.
Maybe you can get like a special horse garment, like a kilt, like a horse kilt.
And then there's the debate.
We know
do
how
you
much
wear it
you
like
and-
this, or do you wear it like this?
we know how much you enjoy wieners, so
I do like a good wiener joke.
yeah, just them to show up.
I can't help it, man. I've got the sense of humor of a middle school boy. You drop a good wiener joke on me, and you got me.
There you go.
Wow.
The bar
I'm
is
getting
low.
all snacks. I'm getting all
That's
the
okay. I
snacks.
prefer poop jokes personally, but I understand it's long. It's probably lower.
No. A good poop joke will get me too.
Well, I mean, it's probably like a lower common denominator than the wiener jokes.
Yeah. I feel like as far as lowbrow humor goes, the wiener jokes are probably more highbrow.
Wieners
Oh,
are
they're
still a
cute.
poop.
Yeah.
Yeah. The scatological doesn't really, doesn't really grab me that much. So,
I don't really like boob jokes. I don't find those funny.
Right.
And when it comes to poop, really, all you have to do is say the word diarrhea and I'll laugh.
I have to say it and write it in reports. It's like part of my job.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess spelling that correctly is probably a pain in the butt.
Tell me a story.
I'll tell you a story that involves diarrhea.
Yes.
Oh no.
None
Do
of them
it.
are funny. I have some funny stories, but none of them involve diarrhea.
Do it anyway.
You want a diarrhea story? I don't know. A lady had diarrhea and there was blood in it, and we had to go light the sirens to the hospital.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. No, my funniest story. One time, so I was a new EMT at this time, and this is in California, and we were posting around the corner of this movie theater. Oh. So bad.
Thanks for sharing.
Oh.
Oh, wait for it.
Oh no.
Oh.
Regretting I ate my supper before I came on. Yeah, so well.
Oh, this is terrible.
No.
No, my first job, I got fired because I refused to clean up a mess. And I don't know if you remember Daddy Daycare when the kid told him he missed, and he walked in and he was like, oh.
He missed.
That was the mess that was in this lady's bathroom. It was so bad that I went to my boss man and I was like, I have no idea where even to begin here.
Oh, women's bathrooms are always worse than men's bathrooms.
Oh yeah.
This myth
it looked
that
like
women...
someone had exploded. Okay.
Oh.
That is not a joke. That is a natural fact.
That is a natural fact. Man, I'll tell you, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the women's restroom, always, like, I went in one, there was poop wiped on the wall.
What?
Someone wiped poop on
Is there
the
a girl
wall.
in there? Isn't that what they do?
With their, fingers. It was like you... it was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Well, basically, she took a bucket of water and we just started throwing water on it. You know?
Yeah. I used to be an ER tech, and I walked into so many like messy rooms, and I would literally play that same How I Met Your Mother game. Drunk or kid? Let's do an over under.
Well.
Oh well, I don't work. I was a teacher, and before I stopped being a teacher, so I don't have fun, interesting stories about defecation or anything.
But you work
I've
with
got a few
kids. Kids
vomit
are just
jokes.
drunk adults.
Well, see, I was kind of stupid in the sense that like I liked books and I liked reading. I still like them, but I was like, oh, if I should do something where I like help people and become. So I was a teacher. I actually graduated early, and I was I had some students in my classes that were older than me. So I started.
Oh
teaching.
my gosh.
Okay.
So,
we shouldn't title the show "Cookout" and have diarrhea.
You're big brain.
Yeah.
Well, I'm good at like analytical stuff, which was probably reason I'm a writer. But like sometimes it's just the life experience stuff.
You are huge.
Wow.
Well, you do have another bite, don't you?
You're waterlogged.
It's gonna poop, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's what that is actually. Yeah, they're all fresh. So the other one's just gonna fall off. And it's a hair.
I heard that they're actually the most dangerous.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
That's what that guy said. He said he'd rather meet up with.
Get rid of those things.
Than hit her. Because they can run fast.
It's hard to believe that.
I don't want to find out though.
Ew.
Yeah, I got that on video.
Oh. It's mostly covered, unfortunately.
Oh well. Probably get struck down anyway. So.
Why are you guys playing poop on the thing? Because it's funny. Because it's really, really funny.
It is funny. Yeah, so the funniest story I had, though, from being this is when I was a new EMT. We were around the corner from a movie theater, and we were, like, really close to this call. We get called in for a guy having a seizure. Go in. We're first there. I'm first to walk in. He's there. Poor guy's having a seizure in, like, the the aisle of the movie theater. Someone moved him away from his seat, and the movie that they played was paused on the screen. It happened to be Magic Mike.
Oh.
So you got Magic Mike paused on the big screen, and it's a theater full of women, and they turn and give me a standing ovation.
Welcome, Halder.
I don't even think they care that the poor guy was seizing. I think they just want to see a Magic Mike show continue.
Right.
Unfortunately, I had to treat the guy.
So a person with possible, issues went in to see a movie that has dancing, which is obviously has strobe light effects.
Yeah, well, he was actually. It turns out he was having a diabetic seizure. He had an insulin pump, and he hadn't been eating, and he apparently fell asleep during the previous movie, which is funny because we wake the guy up. Just give him some sugar, he wakes up, and he's like a country boy. He's talking to us like, "Oh, hey, man." And I was wondering if he was faking it and trying to be all tough because I'm in my head. I'm like, you were in Magic Mike, but he said he was in the previous movie, so which is plausible, but I just think it's funny.
But normally it's the same movie in this theater.
Yeah, normally it's the whole day.
Because they don't have to, because it takes a lot to change it over.
True.
So it's the same, yeah.
He was the only dude in the theater too.
Yeah, no, he went to Magic Mike.
Yeah.
He went to Magic Mike, definitely.
Yeah. All right, see? So thus comes in the wiener jokes, right?
Yes.
There you go.
So I just
we
dropped you
we did make him eat a hot dog before we left.
Well, he probably enjoyed that.
It started as a show about theology and how it's pooping wiener jokes.
This is what This is what you get when I show up. I'm sorry.
Well, this is definitely less offensive than "We Are Coming for Your Children."
That's true. I mean, your children are.
That's very true.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's probably what they're riffing off of. It's a San Francisco gay men's chorus.
That's
we were
right.
joking. We were joking. And everybody, it's like, no, you weren't.
Right.
Then they did it. The Pride Parade in New York, and they were like chanting that, and it's like, yeah.
As we celebrate Pride and the progress we've made over these past years, there's still work to be done.
Yeah, if you guys
So to
haven't
those
seen
of you out there
this.
who are still working against equal rights, we have a message for you. You think we're sinful?
Yeah.
You fight against our rights. You say we all lead lives you can't respect.
I don't say that. All right, so let me correct a couple things here. Yes, sinful, yes. But I think a lot of people are sinful. Right? 'Cause
Everybody
that's what
really
it says,
is.
right? Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah,
we are all.
But is that lifestyle sinful? Yes. So is a promiscuous lifestyle. Yes. So is divorce, also sinful, right?
Yeah, so is like fornication. So when you're not married and you're living with someone.
I don't want them not to have rights. I think they should have every right that I do as an American. I think, they have some basic human rights that they should have. I think, they should have rights.
But that doesn't feed into their victim narrative that gives them permanent power.
Right. Yeah. See, I don't mind. I think it's great that they have rights, I think
they're being used as pawns like every other group. There's people who just want power, and they'll use any demographic they can.
Right.
You fight against our rights. You say we all lead lives you can't respect.
I've never said that.
Yeah.
I've never said that I can't respect them.
And you've never told a woman that they should smile more, but it's in every damn movie right now.
Right.
Yeah, I don't. I've told many people they should smile more. Because I'm like, are you happy? Yeah. Well, tell your face.
Right.
Well, I feel happy, but my face is sleepy.
Right. So far here, only one of the three things he said is correct, and I'm a Christian man, right?
Right.
Who, most Christians I've spoke to feel the same way I do, right? All right.
But you're just frightened.
I'm not scared of anything.
You think that will corrupt your kids?
Yes, I do think you'll corrupt my kids.
Yeah.
I think that because you confirm it in the next few seconds.
If our agenda goes unchecked.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I do. I do think that.
Yeah.
We should find that Disney video.
Because you have an agenda. That is why I think that you'll corrupt our kids, because you have an agenda.
Because there's only one way they procreate.
If you did not have an agenda, then I would not think that. If all you were wanting is like, hey, we just want to get married. Well, I don't know why you want to do that. Yeah, I'm like, that's really all you want. I don't know why you want that. That's, sure. Marriage is not even a social construct. It's a Christian thing. Really, only people that are Christians should want to get married. Otherwise, cohabitate. That's the common thing naturally with people outside of a biblical relationship. Right?
Right.
Like, so, why get married at all? I mean, guess if that's what you want. I mean, doing your thing. I don't care. It doesn't affect me any. Do your thing. That's fine. You should be able to, take off work, to adopt a baby. You should, if your partner is sick, you should be able to stay home and take care of them. And I think that for platonic couples as well. Right? That they're, non-sexual platonic couples. Let's say you've got two guys or two gals that they've never married, but they would like, hey, I'd like to adopt. Maybe we could adopt a kid. Maybe we could be, we could raise a kid. We could do things.
Funny, just this once, you're correct.
See, said he was correct.
We'll convert your children. Happens bit by bit, quietly and subtly, and you will barely notice it. You can keep him from
Not true.
Disco. Warn about San Francisco. Make him wear pleated pants, we don't care. We'll convert your children. We'll make them tolerant and fair.
At first I didn't get why you'd be so scared of...
All right, so I don't feel like I'm intolerant. I mean, I'm a Gen Xer. I've never been intolerant of anyone.
No.
We like my whole generation was like, you do you, man.
We're raised on Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, we don't really. I never cared about race. I never cared about gender or sexuality. None of that stuff really mattered to me. Wasn't a big deal. So I don't feel like I'm intolerant, and I don't feel like I'm unfair. Those are things that are being pushed. Those are words and descriptive phrases being pushed upon me because I'm a Christian. And because I think that they're going to try to normalize what I consider sinful behavior with my kids.
Yeah,
I don't think that's right.
They won't let you contradict it either because they're
right.
I mean, like it's some kind of Jim Crow idea.
But it's my kids.
Right.
I'm not teaching them to hate you.
They want it to be like in Germany where you can't homeschool and they just take your kids away.
Yeah, they want to indoctrinate my kid.
Yeah. Because they think your kid belongs to the state, not you.
Yeah, I don't want them to treat the gay couple differently. I want them to know that, we love everybody and we treat everybody fairly, but that's not a lifestyle that God condones. But there's also a lot of other lifestyles that God doesn't condone.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
Yep.
And it is my responsibility as a parent to teach my child the way that I feel they need to be taught. And it is my freedom as a person who has these religious beliefs that you can't question my religious beliefs. Like, no, that's not. Remember, we've grown tolerant, right? So why is it okay to try to legislate my religious beliefs?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going out there and talking about the Muslims who actually feel the same way and probably a little more harshly than I do on these topics. Or you're not going after Judaism, which we share the same biblical reference for this topic.
Yeah, it's all about giving the state power, and white
Bingo.
Christians just make an easy
Bingo.
target.
But I don't want to give these jokers any more of my time.
No.
So
It comes down to
Yeah.
Marxism
I
at the
will
end of the day.
say-
So a lot of people don't see the connection. It's that community is being used as pawns, like a lot of other.
They really are.
communities. And it's
Yeah.
just, it's
Yeah.
it's the psyop. They're just playing games to get more power.
yeah, really, the pawn thing. I think you're right. Like they don't understand that they're part of this bigger story.
Mm-hmm.
That they're being told things about an entire group of people that just aren't true of those people.
Yep.
Like no, we don't think that way. We don't feel that way.
Well, I was having a discussion in a thread about Oliver Anthony's song, and and somebody's being kind of disingenuous with it, and I told him, well, truth of the matter is the song essentially says that it's us against them, and that's where
the rich man in Richmond, yeah.
and then I had this guy basically accuse me of racism because of my white skin, and I was like, okay, you just accused me of racism because of my skin color.
Yeah.
Unironically.
What you think it means.
Yeah. Like
Unironically, I say this conversation's over. I just blocked a guy.
Yeah.
I need so many more clips. This word does not. I don't think it means what you think it means.
It does
some
not mean
people
what you think it
are.
means.
Yeah, some people are saying that the whole Oliver Anthony thing is that it's been conflated and that it was a concerted effort to. I don't know. I think it happened organically. I really do think it happened organically.
Yep.
And I think people are upset because he's speaking what a lot of people. He said the inside thoughts out loud.
He did. Definitely said it out loud.
Yeah.
And I've seen like some concerts he's done since, and he opens it up with a Bible verse, and he opens it up with Bible verses that are not like the ones that most people quote. It's the Bible verses someone would quote that actually reads the Bible.
Yeah, I actually read the thing or two once or twice.
And so I think he's the real deal. I mean,
the reaction
really
videos speak a lot to me, actually.
Oh yeah,
because it's people that you wouldn't expect that are listening to it and enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to a Skillet concert last Sunday, and the fan base that was there was so diverse.
Mm-hmm.
Like you wouldn't expect the people that listen and know the words to the Skillet songs that were there that knew them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from old people to young people, white people, black people, all kinds of people. Just all the kinds of people were there. I mean, and this lawn was full. It was their free stage there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was packed. I mean, there was probably 1,000 people or more at this free concert, inside the state fair, that you had to buy a ticket to get inside the state fair. And I mean, it was pretty amazing. And then you see these reaction videos. These guys, of different backgrounds and ethnicities are listening to this Oliver Anthony guy.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to him. His real name, I think, is Chris. Listen to this guy in his words, and they're all down with it. They're like, yeah, this speaks to me too. And I think that's what scares the crap out of those others.
Oh yeah,
is because racial lines and religious lines are starting to break down, and even sexuality.
Yeah.
You've got the L's, the B's, and the L's, the G's, and the B's are standing up against the rest of the alphabet.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
A whole movement that they're like, no, you need to. You are grooming children. It's gays against grooming or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Right.
This is a huge movement that is happening right now, and you've got the whole racial thing where you've got black people and white people agreeing.
Yeah.
And like all the things they say, it's like, oh, don't, if you let black people buy guns, then these racists will, want gun laws. I'm not, no. I want to go shooting with them. Let's go. Let's go have a good time, right? and that's what the fact that it's all like breaking down and all the lies, and because we have the internet that can put this out there, and that's why you're getting the censorship on Twitter that you're getting. That's why you're getting the censorship on Facebook, because it's not because they want to keep people from being mean to each other. They want to keep people from talking to each other,
Finding each other.
Yeah, finding out that they have way more in common than
Yeah.
they have that separates them. That we all like, it's like we might be
Well,
diverse.
it's like a try this in a small town song,
Right?
And,
Yeah.
and how they were like, the video is racist or whatever, and then I was watching a lot of black people watching it, and they're like, so what you're saying is that only black people hijack cars and only black people do this, that, and the other. So he says, actually, you're the one that's being racist for
Right.
having a problem with this song,
So I want to tie this into my comic book again. So the dystopian part of my comic book, Earth is basically, it's like a Brave New World, but like way advanced far in the future in space. We've colonized and terraformed other planets. Human civilization outside of Earth, 1,000 years in the future, is so capitalist and free and outside of our social restraints. They've just basically made race a thing of the past. Like literally most people are mixed race, but on Earth people are divided because in order to maintain control, Earth's government has had to keep people separate, so people live within certain regions, basically like continents, and that's the only place where race is alive as a concept still.
Right.
I think that's just what totalitarian governments have to do. They have to keep people separated and, like you said, keep them from talking.
Yeah.
Because when they make it us and them, that's when we want to hand them more power. They have to create a crisis essentially to gain their power.
Well, my comic book, when my main hero was like taken down, and he was the person that was overpowered people in this world. Then there's all these incidences that happened that were really pushed by the media to terrify people that, oh, he's gone now. There's no protection for you. We have to create this federal organization. So we need an amendment to the Constitution. And so that's what they did. They amended the Constitution, created a federal organization, and basically made these people a permanent underclass. And it was all because of fear and trying to protect themselves. And so, so the time my story happens, people are starting to see powered people as human again. And so the whole entire thing is, the whole entire impetus for the first arc is that they're creating this artificial event that's going to terrify people into not voting for a new amendment to eliminate the 28th or the last amendment. And so that's pretty much what they're doing now. They're using the press to just pump up things, and terrify people into giving up their rights as citizens or turning things over to them. We can protect you. I mean, they're already talking about a new strain of the vid.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Yep.
We're gonna have to quarantine again. Yeah, best of luck with that.
Hell no.
Yeah, best of luck with that. They're gonna start pushing that narrative again. I think
I
they're gonna find that people aren't going.
Trying to
But so good.
provoke a response.
I don't think people are going to go for it outside of blue states anymore.
No.
I mean, I don't think they are.
It's too soon. I think sometimes these people, whether the World Economic Forum or Deep State or whatever, I think they sometimes overestimate their power, being the megalomaniacs they are, and sometimes they overplay their hands.
Yeah, they don't get it.
Well, I mean, I see things happening that lead me to believe that another crackdown is just not possible now. I think
it's too soon. People are wise to it.
Well, you said something that they think that their power is greater than what it really is. It reminded me, I listened to this podcast with Adam Conover talking about the writers' strike or whatever, and he was talking about how, well, Twitch and YouTube, that's like stuff you listen to in the background while you're doing schoolwork. You go to what we make. That's like the fine dining of entertainment. And I'm like, dude, you think too highly of what it is you produce, because what you produce is dribble. Like, I listen to Adam Ruins Everything in the background. Not even that. I turn it off.
Yeah.
Because it's annoying.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh my God, that's annoying. It was funny for like the first season. It was
I
funny
have
for the
never
first season.
seen anybody so wrong about every single thing.
Right.
I mean, every single thing. And this is the guy that they're like making their mouthpiece about this whole strike thing.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, because I guess they thought that, oh, he's an internet personality that, you know, people will just, you know, believe him when he says stuff. But it's like, that's the last guy I would have as the mouthpiece, because nobody is going to believe what he says.
Right.
Nobody. But it is what it is. I don't know. I just think that I'm seeing a lot of undercurrents that are happening right now that are leading me to believe that the mainstream is not going to be mainstream for much longer.
Yeah, I think Hollywood's on their way out. I think it's a dead business model, what they've got.
I think the mainstream now is just a misnomer they give themselves. I don't even know if they're actually the mainstream anymore. I don't know if the numbers are there for them to be the mainstream anymore.
I think the mainstream in the next 10 or 20 years is going to look very different. It's going to be kind of decentralized away from Hollywood.
Yeah, I just don't think there's such thing as a mainstream anymore.
Yeah, I think
just that whole idea. Because really, if you look at the numbers that they're doing, there's independents that are making.
Mm-hmm.
They're on par with that, if not more than.
Yeah, I think we're going to see more schism, and it's going to become more like the Wild West of entertainment, essentially.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm hoping for. I think it'll be good for creatives.
Well, a lot of this has made me free to look up alternative sources of entertainment, and I'm happier and better because of it.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to go back to, paying high prices to go watch a movie in a theater.
No.
It's going to be a movie that really, really speaks to me.
Yeah.
Well, not enough people talk about the fact that The Sound of Freedom dethroned Indiana Jones 5 on 4th of July weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie made for $40 million in South America with South American actors, or a South American producer and a South American director, and about a serious event that's happening in South America, and it concerns South America. And they want to say that Blue Beetle is the Latino representation.
Yeah,
and yet they denigrated Sound of Freedom, but Sound of Freedom,
they're clueless. I mean,
yeah,
I think they're a little scared. They protest a little too much to be innocent.
Really do. But when you watch that, there's a genuineness to that. They represent the culture like as it is. And then you watch this Blue Beetle, and they're like saying stuff that, they're talking about taco trucks and Mi Familia and stuff like that, and it's like it's all stereotypes.
Yeah, I hear.
And it's like the audience that you think that you're pandering to, this is not how they talk, this is not how they interact, and this is not how they think.
Yeah.
This is how you white liberals think that they think.
Right.
You all think you all think that you could tell them that they do the tinks and they're going to accept it.
Oh,
well,
geez, so
maybe
to Latin people.
Look, I'm not Latin.
Family.
look. I'm not Latin.
No.
Blue Beetle might very well really represent what it's like to be in a Latin family. I don't know. Could. Maybe. I don't know.
I haven't seen it. I'm not going to see it, so.
Yeah, it's not for me, that's not the point. For me, that's not the point. To make the movie all about representation and not the fact that it's, we're supposed to be watching a movie about a superhero, and you just told me that you made it for a niche crowd.
Right.
You just told me that you made this for a crowd that is specifically not really me.
Yep. Disney used to be a lot smarter about that kind of thing. Back when I was an intern there, I kind of got an inside look of the thought process behind making movies like Mulan, But when they made Mulan, they just included a story about Asians. I think it actually is like a fable from Asia. But they didn't make it for Asians. They made it for everybody.
Right.
It just happened to, include Asians. And the reason they did is because of increased spending power of Asian people in the late 90s. And there were a lot of movies featuring minorities more in the late 90s and early 2000s. It was really simply because of spending power of those groups increasing. But it wasn't for those groups only. It was for everybody, and they've just forgotten that entertainment is uniting. It's for everybody.
Well, you can see the difference between Coco and Encanto, and that's just there's just a couple years apart. And Coco was a movie that just happened to be about the family. This culture just happened to be about it.
No,
But
it didn't happen to be. It wasn't intended to be about that.
Right.
But it was good. I liked Encanto as well. I mean, I liked them both.
No.
I watched them both.
I didn't like
both.
Encanto.
Mm-mm.
I didn't like it because it was like, I would have liked it better if like all the magic went away at the house end. Because it's like,
it's Disney.
There's no real
take all the
stake.
magic away.
I was like, people criticize Frozen 2 for that, but I actually agreed with it, Frozen 2, because like the people that lived on Arendelle were a generation later. They didn't know that their castle necessarily was built on racism, so it didn't make sense for them to like suffer because of what their ancestors did. Like, but with Encanto is like you've torn your family apart because of the whole no magic issue. So the house like repairing itself and then going away would have made a lot of sense. It's like, here, this is the home that you fill with the magic of family, not the magic that comes with in the family, like that kind of thing. And
Well, I mean, but you're also talking about a whole other depth of storytelling that's just not possible with modern day Disney. So for what it is and who was writing it, it's pretty good. I do think they put way too much pressure on Lin-Manuel Miranda to pop out hit after hit after hit, and it's showing that that he might have a shelf life.
He's been overrated since anything after Hamilton. So
yeah, I mean it's unfortunate for him. To be quite honest, when these people that write musicals, they're not known for producing massive hits every year. It's hit, dud, 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 hit. I mean, you write a lot of duds before the next one gets picked up, right? There's only a couple that have been able to really, truly, honestly produce massively successful hit after hit. And
he's not one of them.
He's not one of them. No, he's good, but it's niche. Also, I
was gonna say he's niche. He's too niche for it to be successful.
Hamilton was interesting because he did a play about probably one of the most influential but not good people in our government's history. He was a terrible person. He tried to, obviously, painting with a hero's brush in there. So it was one about Hamilton, which I'm like, Alexander Hamilton was a dick, and then
there's a reason he was shot.
Yeah.
Aaron Burr was the true patriot.
Aaron Burr was the patriot, really, yeah. They made Aaron Burr out to be a bad guy. Alexander Hamilton was a scoundrel.
And we would have started out with the Federal Reserve if he had his way.
Yeah, he was the Nancy Pelosi of his day.
But not only did he, but he did a period piece with rap.
Yeah.
That's what was interesting. And most people that sat there and and paid those high prices for the tickets, they couldn't understand a word that was being said up there. They didn't know the story. They just understood some of the melodies of the songs. They don't, the real story wasn't actually even being told up there. It wasn't wasn't historical. It was just like any other bit of history that where, they just twist it and, to make it what they like and stuff. But anyway.
Well,
I think it's time to go, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about time to wrap it up here. But
what are you even going to title this one today? We went from poop jokes to aliens to.
Well, I went with just getting started, just because we got two.
How about just Stranger Things?
That just recently launched. It should be Stranger Things. It is a little strange. But, this is only episode 9. We're not even in double digits yet. I think we got something good here. We are just getting started, so that's why I titled it.
All right, no problem. That works.
That being said, though, I am going to say goodbye. Any parting thoughts for the week before we go?
Nothing.
be careful out there.
Support my
That's
comic.
yours. Yeah, check
please,
out
please
community
don't.
service and Discord on Film My Comic.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the outro. See you guys next time.
All right.
All right. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Even the appetizing process of broiling the hamburgers is fun and promotes friendship and good fellowship.